Ever wondered why programmers always mix up Halloween and Christmas? Because October 31st equals December 25th. Welcome to our fun-filled guide to programming and IT. That's right, in the binary world, October 31st, written in octal, October 31st, is the same as December 25th in decimal, December 25th. It's a classic programmer joke that encapsulates the quirky humor of the coding community. Now that we've shared a laugh, it's time to dive into the nitty-gritty of programming. So what is a programming language? Is it like learning French or Spanish, but for your computer? Well, sort of. Let's dive right in. Imagine your computer as a person who only speaks a foreign language. You want to tell it to do something, but you don't speak its language. That's where programming languages come in. They are the bridge between us, humans, and computers, allowing us to communicate our instructions effectively. Just like human languages, there are many different types of programming languages. Each has its own syntax or set of rules. Think of it like this. English has grammar rules, right? Well, programming languages have similar rules that dictate how commands should be written and structured. Here's a fun comparison. If programming languages were people at a party, Java would be the reliable friend who's always there when you need them. Python, on the other hand, would be the easygoing buddy who's all about simplicity and readability. JavaScript, that's the life of the party, making all the interactive web elements dance around. Why are these languages important, you ask? Well, they help us create everything from the apps on your phone to the games you play and the websites you browse. Each language has its own strengths. For example, Python is great for data science and machine learning, while JavaScript dominates in web development. Now, it's important to remember that not all languages are interchangeable. Just like you wouldn't go to Italy and expect everyone to understand Japanese, you can't use Python to build an iOS app. That's Swift's job. Each language has its own specialty, and using the right one for the job is crucial. In the end, learning a programming language is like learning to write a symphony. Each line of code is a note, and when strung together correctly, they create a beautiful harmony of functions and processes. It's a skill that requires practice, patience, and a lot of debugging. Remember, just like you wouldn't use French to talk to someone who only understands English, you wouldn't use Python to code something that requires JavaScript. Languages, whether human or machine, have their place. Now imagine you're a gladiator entering the coding arena. Your weapon, your keyboard, your opponent, the problem at hand. Welcome to the virtual Colosseum, where battles aren't won by brute strength, but by the agility of your mind and the nimbleness of your fingertips. In this arena, your foes aren't ferocious lions or hulking warriors, but tricky algorithms and elusive bugs. But fear not, for you, dear coder, are not thrown into this arena unprepared. Just like a gladiator has his sword and shield, you have your tools too. Your programming language, be it Python with its simplicity, C++ with its power, or Java with its versatility, is your mighty weapon. Your integrated development environment, or IDE, is your sturdy shield, protecting you from the onslaught of syntax errors and runtime exceptions. And let's not forget the most important tool of all, your brain. This is where the real battle takes place. To be a successful gladiator in the coding arena, you must be a master problem solver. You need to slice through complexities like a sword through silk, and dodge pitfalls like a gladiator evades a spear thrust. Remember, in this arena, it's not the size of the code that matters, but its efficiency. Just like a gladiator doesn't win by the number of swings he takes, but by the precision of his strikes. Now you might be thinking, coding sounds like a lot of work. Why would I want to step into this arena? Well, let me tell you, there's nothing quite like the thrill of solving a difficult problem, of watching your code come to life, and of creating something truly useful. It's like the roar of the crowd when a gladiator lands a decisive blow. And let's not forget, every problem you solve, every bug you squash makes you a stronger, more skilled coder. Just like every battle a gladiator survives makes him a more formidable warrior. So, will you emerge victorious in the coding arena with the right tools and mindset? You definitely can. Ever heard of the IT factor? In our world, it's not about charm or charisma, it's about information technology. Now, you might be thinking of IT as a bunch of folks huddled in a dimly lit basement, surrounded by mountains of discarded pizza boxes and energy drink cans. Yeah, that's not quite accurate. In reality, it is the backbone of programming, and let's be honest, pretty much everything else in our digital age. IT professionals are like the superheroes of the tech world. They're the ones who keep our networks secure, our systems running, and our data safe. And when something goes wrong, They're the ones who swoop in to save the day. No cape required. But here's the kicker. It isn't just about fixing computer problems, it's about understanding how systems work, how they interact, and how to make them better. It's about problem solving, creativity, and yes, a fair bit of patience. And let's not forget the role of IT in programming. Without IT, we wouldn't have the infrastructure to run our code, the servers to host our websites, or the security to protect our data. It is like the stage crew of a theater production. You might not see them, but without them, the show wouldn't go on. So the next time someone says you've got the IT factor, you can proudly say, "Yes, I do. I can even debug your computer." Now let's recap. Or in programming terms, let's run a debug on what we've learned so far. We've discovered the uncanny resemblance between Halloween and Christmas, at least in the binary world of programmers. We've also dived into the vast ocean of programming languages where Python isn't a slithering reptile and Java isn't your morning brew. We then ventured into the coding arena, a place where the brave and the logical reign supreme. It's a battlefield that's a lot less Game of Thrones and a lot more Game of Codes. We've also touched upon the IT factor, where it doesn't stand for incredible talent, but information technology. But hey, who's to say they aren't one and the same? And that, folks, is a quick and humorous guide to programming and IT. Remember, in the world of coding, a sense of humor is the best bug fixer out there.